The leaders of Cadillac invite you to join them in sneering at people who have to work like slaves. Join them in concluding that the phrase attributed to Marie Antoinette is right. Let them eat cake. Their current commercial has 3 scenes of royal luxury. Playing in the background is the pop song Fame, the David Bowie song. The first scene is of a pharaoh in ancient Egypt. He's riding on a throne atop a mobile platform 2 stories high. There are 50 slaves carrying it. Thousands more line the path and hail him in adulation. A close-up of his face shows a sneer, a smirk, a look of "what fools" as he surveys the spectacle. The second scene is apparently set in India, with royalty in a caravan of luxurious covered platforms atop elephants, attended by a parade of servants. The third scene is Versailles in the 1700s, with a royal coach passing through the large courtyard and the people gaily waving. Must have been before the revolutionary fervor. A royal woman waves from the window of the coach. The scene cuts to another woman smiling through a window, only now it's a modern woman in a huge SUV. The message is that this is the modern equivalent of those earlier scenes, that you too can join the very small, very exclusive club of people enjoying absurd and extreme wealth, wealth at the expense of what, judging by the pharaoh's face, they take as fools, who rather than be irate, instead adore the elite with awe and envy. I was amazed. Didn't Cadillac and General Motors anticipate the outrage this would cause? Or did they conclude that the fuss would just be additional publicity? Had they calculated that their target audience would be people who didn't care how obscene it is, or to whom it wouldn't even occur? No, they're shrewder than I am. They correctly assessed our culture. There will be no fuss. What they portrayed is too much the accepted state. The scene of French royalty is brazen. It entices customers to imagine themselves as royalty who enjoyed ludicrous luxury while shamelessly ignoring that they were soon overrun by the oppressed and resentful citizenry and lost their heads. On the one hand, this demonstrates the obliviousness of the French royalty. Cadillac invites you to join them in a repeat of that willful blindness. On the other hand, marketers at this level are cleverly aware of the psychology of their productions. It may be precisely that, our current precarious state, that they are tapping, just as those royals must have sensed their precarious state with anxious hopes that it would all go away. The commercial rasps on a nerve of both the elite and of fawning wannabes. As many see their middle-class dreams falter, the desperate urge to imagine oneself somehow escaping the decline into the apparent security of the elite, the raw hunger for it, must be consuming for some. To imagine that if the world around you should fail, you would be one of those who remains isolated but secure within the gates of wealth. Those at the top must feel ever more isolated. The commercial's message to the elite is to embrace that isolation, the safe distance from the rest, the gap that separates the sinking world of the many from the security of their own world. Embrace the delusion that they can go on in luxury even while the rest falter, as if the elite world isn't dependent upon the rest doing well. The fiction that the commoners love the royals and see them as the only beauty and hope in their dull lives and are grateful for the royal presence. The vision of the joyous, adoring crowd waving to Antoinette. The message is to embrace the fantasy that they aren't actually grumbling and on the verge of overthrowing the whole order of things. For Cadillac to play upon those with that desperate hunger and those with that desperate fantasy is shrewd. Decades ago, commercials for better cars celebrated that we had built a rich country and everyone deserved to take a step up. There was no need to escape to the elite. The typical family could enjoy nice things too. Times have changed. The message of this commercial couldn't be clearer. The close-up of the clearly contemptuous pharaoh, the announcer saying, "The evolution of luxury, the next generation," the lyrics of the song, "Fame makes a man, takes things over," and with in-your-face irony, "Fame puts you there where things are hollow." I hope we sort out our foolish affair with extreme and destructive wealth disparity, both so the elite don't lose their heads as Antoinette did, and so everyone else doesn't get hurt in the upheaval. Cathartic as it is, upheaval always carves a horrible price out of the common people, and rarely leads to improvement. Cadillac invites you to desperately pretend that everything is fine.